Hi everyone, and welcome to L.A.L Nutrition. My name is L.A.L, and I'm a holistic nutritionist, and this is my monthly favorites. And I always say this, but it's really true. It's a really great way for me to share little things, little things that you can add into your life that you can start to create a more holistic, healthy lifestyle for yourself. Because holistic wellness and health and nutrition and all of that encompasses more than just food. It is really a lifestyle. So I'm going to start off with, so I'm just going to move back a little bit so I can kind of grab all these things. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my little crumbled package here of spirulina. But it's not just this monthly favorite, it's been a favorite for a while, and I always make a smoothie with it for my son, and I think I've probably mentioned it in another favorites video, but I wanted to talk about it again because spirulina, my son, as he's been getting older, his veggie intake changes. He eats, a lot of whole foods, nothing's really processed, but it's harder to get greens into him. So I make a smoothie with spirulina, raw vegan protein, banana, and I add in some spinach. But I know with the spirulina, it's such a concentrated food that he's getting a lot of chlorophyll. It also has B vitamins. It's got really digestible protein. It's very alkalinizing. So it's a really amazing green food. And I don't necessarily buy a lot of supplements or powders. It is sort of it's pure spirulina. I try to, for me just personally, I don't like to buy things with multiple ingredients or different greens, powders. I like to keep things as simple as possible. Not to say that I won't use them, but I just thought spirulina was really great in the smoothie that we have. I've also been adding in soaked chia seeds, which have, just kind of makes a really potent nutritional smoothie that my son, at least I know, he's having once a day along with the other foods he's having, which are not horrible foods. It's just that he's not getting in the greens that I would love him to get in. And speaking of that, I'm going to share some other snacks that he really loves. So these are roux bars, and he also has Lara bars, but they're not organic. And these roux bars, they are organic, and they're only 4 ingredients. And they're very similar to the Lara bar. This one is, there is dates, cashew, mulberries, and just vanilla in one of them. And the other one is just, sorry for that, dates, almonds, raisins, and rosehip powder. So these, I don't mind giving him these. For my son, this is candy, and this is his favorite snack, or he'll eat actual whole medjool dates. So, it's not that he's eating crazy candy or anything like that, but for me as a nutritionist, I would like to see him eating more greens, but I know kids kind of gravitate more towards, carbier foods. Like he does have sweet potatoes, and he has, cauliflower and Mary's crackers and avocado and, lentils and hummus and all of this. So he eats pretty well. And so those roux bars are a pretty good snack if you have them. I know a lot of bars, when I look at the ingredients, they have multiple ingredients and sweeteners, and they're not really whole foods, but they're really marketed to us as whole foods, or they're natural, or they're healthy, or they, and moms sometimes, or people in general, get really fooled by these little nutritional claims. You really need to read the ingredients. I always find simple is better, whole foods, organic if you can, find it. And ideally for me, I would love to make these bars. Sometimes when I make them, my son does not like the combinations I've made, so I'm still working on that. So, and also we're really busy, so in a pinch, these are really great to have. And I know these are for my April favorites, but we just traveled, and so they were a great lifesaver to have them. He had something very familiar. If he, wasn't eating sort of everything that we had, I at least knew he was getting, some kind of protein or something that he really loved. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, moving on from the roux bars, we'll go into more of not the food stuff. So this is a nail polish by Trust Fund Beauty, and it's called Do You Know Who My Father Is? It's a really nice pale pink, and I actually didn't think I would like this color because I always wear more of like a brighter pink or fuchsia nail polish for my skin tone, but it looks actually really good. It almost looks like how white looks really good with darker skin. It looks really great. It looked really great on my toes when I was away. I'm just sneaking that in this time. But the great thing about this nail polish is that it's 10 free, so it's free of 10 chemicals you don't want to have, because everything that you put on your skin, even on your nails, gets into your system to a degree, more than, it could. I think the last time I looked, it was about 70-80% is getting into your system. And even when I'm using this nail polish, I can smell sort of it's chemically. So you always want to be aware of what you're putting on yourself, and to buy products, because now there's more, more products are coming out that they're more aware of the market and people wanting more things that are not bad for them necessarily. So that was a great color. Trust Fund Beauty is the brand, and I tried out that color. I think pale pink is very in, and sort of all the things a few things I have here are in line with those colors. So the next couple of things I have, two things, are books. So this first book is called Invincible Living by Guru Jagat, and I just happened to randomly find an article about her, and I just, she was talking using Kundalini Yoga, and I've done Kundalini Yoga in the past. There are so many modalities of meditation and things that you can do to really help yourself in different areas, and it really is about you finding the best way that intuitively is going to help you in a certain situation. And I have so many kind of different meditations and tools that I use, and as I get to know myself better, to help me with processing certain emotions and feelings and where I'm at, and finding clarity, and just being present with myself. And I happened to find her, and I was re-inspired to do Kundalini Yoga because she really explains sort of the technology of Kundalini Yoga, which uses sound and vibration and certain postures and movements. And it is really tying it back to the science of it, because a lot of this is, scientists are finding how through sound or certain movements or etc. you're stimulating the glands and the nervous system, and that's really what, from what I've been learning, Kundalini Yoga is really about fortifying your nervous system, and removing blockages. And this is just, we live in a society that we're constantly stressed and we're constantly going. So to have something like that to really help you is important. And I've been practicing several of them, and I was really drawn to obviously the ones that were, promoting more beauty, because when you kind of see how you look on the outside, you're kind of knowing whatever you're doing is working for you. And anything that reduces stress really is going to make you age better and look better and feel better. And so, but there's this one meditation I've been doing, even before I found the book. I was doing another set of Kundalini meditations for self-love and just sort of expanding your heart. And when I found her, there was one about fists of anger. And in my last video, I talked about the liver and, anger coming up. And fists of anger is to help energetically clear whatever anger or emotion is in the body, because it is a biochemical sort of thing going on in the body. We're trying to just make sure that reaction goes through, that we're not storing anger. And everybody has anger, everyone has unpleasant emotions, and in society I find that we tend to stuff it or ignore it or repress it or say we're not an angry person. And in order to be a human being, we feel all spectrum of emotions, so anger is there. And I see lots of angry people, so it's better to kind of do a meditation or have a practice where you can get it out and in a safe way, because anger is an emotion that wants you to move and hit and throw. And so if we learn ways to process it, it's really great. Because I'm learning tons about that with my son. He's 2 and having tantrums and throwing things and just wanting to get the energy out, which is natural. And so as we're adults, we need to move beyond that stage of toddlerhood. So I'm really loving the book. There are other practices for longevity, for digestion, for which is so important. Making sure your body. There's supposedly 10 different bodies and energies, and I won't go into the details, but just simple meditations. The Fists of Anger meditations, 3 minutes. And then you can decide, maybe you're having, you have a day where, or you're feeling like your digestion's off. There are meditations for that where you can, practice it for 40 days or however long and see if it's really working for you. Because I've noticed a difference in my digestion with doing, there's one called Sat Kriya, and that has helped with my digestion, because you're really focusing your energy on sort of below your navel and strengthening it. And it is also sort of a physical, yoga is physical, but in a more specific way. Okay, so I really have been loving, Guru Jagat and her explanation of Kundalini Yoga. I always love to know how, sort of these esoteric or sort of woo-woo subjects really are grounded in science, because as science progresses, it starts illuminating it so that it's, I don't even want to say logical, but you see the science in it and the sort of the biochemistry or the biology behind it, which I think is important for a lot of people to know, that it's grounded in something and it's not just someone says something and we do it. The next book I have, maybe it's not so grounded, but it's called White Hot Truth by Danielle Laporte, and this book just completely resonated with me. The whole process of spirituality, and I mean, in holistic nutrition, that is part of what I do. We look at all areas of life holistically as a whole being, and in this book she goes through so many things that are really, really important in spirituality and in being mature. One of the things that comes to mind is paradoxes. Life is full of paradoxes. You're not one or the other, or, you can be very open, let's say an open, warm person, but you are also someone who has boundaries. So, your limits. So there's discernment. And just really, it's a really great book to just sort of see where you're at. There's a lot of what she calls truth bombs. And I just thought it was a really great book to read. I've sort of, it just really resonated with me. For instance, love yourself like it's your job. That's one of the chapters. And it's really, a lot of these, when you read something and it really hits you and it resonates with you, it's true for you. And that's the whole thing about reading any of these spiritual books or listening to anyone. You really want to know that it's true for you. And that's your compass. And this book is all about being your own. Part one thing is being your own guru, being your own spiritual person, really going inwards and being intuitive about you. All of these tools, yoga, therapists, energy workers, nutritionists, anyone that is helping you externally really is trying to help you look, find that spot in you where you're realizing that you have to listen to yourself. So it's just uncovering and removing the blocks so that you can get deeper and deeper and really start hearing yourself, because in society and the way we're parented, it really does block a lot of our intuition. And so then as adults, we're like trying to peel off the layers to get to that deeper truth. So, it's always great to have a variety of resources. Anyways, those are my favorites for the month. I might have gone on and on. But really amazing books, snacks, nail polish, covering it all. And I hope these, these favorites are helpful, and you look into them and you check them out. I always talk about the books I'm reading to people, but I really do hope you check it out and it resonates. And if it does, please let me know. Please like this video, please share it, and please subscribe if you haven't. And I look forward to sharing more with you. And if you want to see, certain types of videos, please do let me know what you're interested in, so that, I have more ideas about what will be helpful to you and serve you best. So have a great day, and I look forward to sharing more with you. Bye!